не в Zoom. Это...
What if you don't need to live in pain and suffering? What if you could give up your karma and have a life of abundance and joy? What if you could start creating magic and miracles that you never thought were possible? Get ready to listen, share, and experience the magic that is you. Now, here's the host of Creating Abundance with Ease radio show, Dr. Helen Gitlevich.
Welcome, I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show is Magic of the Holidays. I'm a medical doctor by education. I was born in Russia and became a doctor just to help people, to help them with their health. But it wasn't enough, especially with the stress. I ended up with open heart surgery and became kind of quit medicine and became Access Consciousness Facilitator as well as Akashic Records teacher and consultant. And now I facilitate classes around the world. And you can reach me different places, social media or my website. And today's show, we'll be talking about magic, specifically magic of holidays. How much are we dreading the holidays? How much do we love holidays? How much we've forgotten the magic and miracles that the holidays represent? So let's play with all of this and see how much magic and miracles we can invite in our lives to create more joy. I decided to talk about holidays right after Hanukkah. I'm Jewish, so Hanukkah is a miracle of lights. And one way of looking at it's magic of the oil that was supposed to last one day after the victory lasted the whole 8 days. And so now we light the candles and all kinds of holidays, eating, playing, and trying to be joyful. But the main idea is each one of us is a light. Each one of us represents that spark of divine and magic that if we be it, the whole world will light up. And that's the invitation of the holidays, and same with Christmas. If you watch all Christmas movies, it's not as much religious as much as giving, as magic, as Santa coming in and giving presents to kids and adults. It's inviting magic in our lives. Same as New Year. The old year ends and we ask that the new year be happy. How much we forget that, even during holidays. If the movies and plays didn't remind us, but even then, we say, oh, that's just a movie. Oh, this is just a fairy tale. Oh, no. And even when magic does happen in our lives, we ignore it. How many of us had magic and miracles happening throughout our lives, especially when we were kids? Kids can see magic. Kids can do magic. Everything is magic for them. They look at a tree and they talk to the tree. They look at the ocean, and to them, it goes beyond just simply the body of water. The mountains, everything is magical to the kids. How much do we lose that magical thinking throughout our lives? And talking about magical thinking, one of the definitions of schizophrenia is magical thinking. And how many of us are not kind of like in that moment of, oh, I don't want to be crazy. Oh, this is crazy. Oh, it cannot happen. It's too crazy. I'm talking about those moments when we actually conducted our inner magic and things happened or occurred and we said, oh, I was just lucky. Oh, this was coincidence. Oh, this was this was that. What if there is no coincidence? What if it's you creating everything in your life? Oh, wait, we do create everything in our lives. Our points of view create everything in our lives. Our judgments create everything in our lives. I'm doing a book club right now in Russian. Your Reach is for You. It's Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane Hare book, where they talk about riches being more than just money. It's everything, including magic. And I guess I lost my thought just now. It's literally in that book club. Oh, I know, I got it now. In that book club, somebody asked that creating magic and miracles is easy when we don't make it significant. But when it's something we decided is important, and I stress the word decided, that's important because nothing is important. Nobody is important. And saying that, I cringe inside because it feels light to say it, but yet I still made a lot of things and people significant in my life. It's really about looking at our reality as a playground, as a virtual vibrational reality. You know, there are a lot of movies now made with kind of like that idea. The first one, or maybe not the first one, but the most famous one is Matrix. And in Matrix, the whole thing is a virtual vibrational reality. And it's a choice for us to choose. What are we going to choose? Are we going to choose staying in that idea of, oh my God, this is my life, and I have to live this way, otherwise there is no purpose, versus, oh, it's my life. I can play. And next time, well, if it doesn't work, I can always come back and do it a different way. Think how much lighter that is. What if nothing is important? Nobody is important. And you can choose to have them in your life. By not making them important, you're not eliminating them from your life. By not making everything significant, you're not giving it up. You're not kind of throwing it away. Because a lot of people say, if I don't make it significant, I lose it. No, if you make it significant, most likely you will lose it. Because when we are holding so tight, I like visual. And think of if you caught a little bird in your hands. If you hold on so tight, you can kill the bird, right? But if you open your hands and the birds choose to stay, how much more fun is that? What if it's about choice? Our choice, their choice. And by their choice, I don't mean just people and animals. I'm talking about objects. I'm talking about everything. Because even this glass, I love this crystal glass. I like drinking from it. And I ask, would you like to stay with me? And right now it says yes. If it doesn't, it might break, or I might lose it, or there might be other things. Everything has consciousness, and everything has a will of its own. Because a lot of times you have things break, you have things lost. what if it's not about you making a mistake and you being wrong by breaking something? Even that when you were growing up as a little kid, your parent probably yelled at you for breaking something and you decided it's wrong to break something. What if it's not a wrongness? What if it's a choice of an object to be broken for some reason? And what if there is no purpose other than to have fun? How much are we refusing to have fun in our lives by making things important and significant? Remember, like when you were a kid, and I remember I used to love running in the rain. There was some connection to divine for me in the rain, especially when it's not, well, if it's pouring, it's fine, but I like the drizzle when it's like a little bit kind of like on my hair, a little bit. And it was almost a feeling of connection to everything. There's a story behind it, of course. When I was growing up, I had the surgery where when I woke up, there was a thunderstorm outside and the window was open and I could feel the raindrops on my face. In that moment, there was an amazing openness to oneness. I was only 6 years old, but I remember that feeling, that space of being complete joy, complete happiness. It was totally miraculous. And I remember being one with the whole universe. I didn't understand that, of course, but you cannot name it, you cannot describe it. It was just oneness. And I knew I would be okay no matter what. And that's what magic is, being us, being that space of oneness and wonder and magic and miracles. And it's time for our first break of the show. When we return, we'll talk more, maybe playing some exercise, maybe doing some fun stuff and creating more magic and miracles in our lives. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on the Inspired Choices Network. And we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. And I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show topic is how to be happy during holidays. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the next show. Today we still have on magic of the holidays. And with that, in the first part, we were talking about the magic of Hanukkah, magic of Christmas, magic of New Year, and magic when we were kids and we kind of forgot it, and everything around us being a virtual vibrational reality that we refuse to play and making it significant. And we do have live audience today in a Zoom. And if you'd like to ask a question, or if you'd like to ask me directly, you can go to the chat room and just type in a question or ask to be connected to the Zoom. It's very simple, very easy. And if you're not in the live audience and like to join us in the chat room, there is a Zoom link where you can join us live. So what are the holidays for you? Because a lot of times for me, I liked holidays, and yet there was a little apprehension because holidays were supposed to be with family, right? And when I was married, there was my side of the family and his side of the family. And they were always kind of pulling us. No, you come to our house. No, you come to our house. And it was such a pull-push that the joy either diminished or disappeared completely. At some point, I think a few years into the marriage, my mom decided that, okay, fine, I'm not going to fight you guys. How about we'll do the holidays all together? So it ended up to be at my mom's house every single holiday, where she would get tired, frustrated, upset, spill it on me, and I would get the portion of that anger and frustration. So the joy of getting together was clouded, shrouded, call it whatever you want. But there was always tension there. Either the tension between with being on one side or the other, it's always been pull and push. And how can we balance that? How can we, no matter what's going on in our families, with our friends, choose for us to be happy? And that brings me kind of like to the same topic of importance and significance. Because if we made the holidays very significant and important, and our family very significant and important, we give ourselves up. We start cutting up pieces of us. At first, a small piece, and then bigger and bigger and bigger. I ended up with a divorce, not because of the families, but because of other reasons. But part of it was I cut up myself so much that I don't think I even existed as me. It was more about him, my husband, about his mother, about his aunt, about my mother, about my grandmother, about my stepfather, about everybody around, about my friends. Not to hurt anyone, not to upset anyone, not to get the scales of give and take off. And with all of that, it was so stressful. I'm not sure if that started the process of heart disease, kind of like you can say broken heart, or something else, but I'm pretty sure it contributed as well. So what if instead of stressing out and cutting parts of us, we chose us and them? In access consciousness, there is a tool or a notion or an idea to live in the kingdom of we. I used to live in the kingdom of them. Everything is about them, everything to give, everything to make them happy. I had no idea who I was. I had no idea even what I liked. And I never forget that a few years ago, I met my sister-in-law or ex-sister-in-law. And we were laughing because her idea of my favorite food was hot dogs. Don't get me wrong, I love Chicago hot dogs. Well, right now I'm a vegetarian, so that goes out of the window, or pescatarian. But still, that was not my favorite food. I had no idea what my favorite food was. It was about what my husband liked, what my mother liked. And what if we give that up? Not to hurt them, but kind of like start asking, what will create more of magic for me? What will create happiness for me? And not to swing the pendulum the other way, kind of like to say, oh, it's all about me. No, it's about choosing for all of us. All of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory is a mantra of access, or all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. And you play with that and see what that will create. But it's about choosing based on what's true. And let's talk about what's true. Because it's not the truth. Truth is in the eye of the beholder. It's about points of view. It's about judgment. My truth, your truth, their truth, over their truth. Doesn't matter. It's how we look at things. Point of view creates your reality, right? What if it's about asking questions and being in a question? What would that create beyond what I want, what they want? I'm not going to give them what they want. They're not going to give me what I want. And stressing out during the holidays. I remember I was dating somebody, and in our family, everybody pitches in. When we get together, everybody puts food on the table, everybody in the holiday, in the joy of it, somebody washes dishes, somebody does something else. We all pitch in. So it's not one person's job to serve and clean and set up and do all kinds of things. It's about kingdom of we in some ways of what can I contribute here? His idea of the holidays was we are guests and we're supposed to be served. And that was like, whoa, not my reality. And he's not wrong. No, he's not wrong. That's his reality. And in some ways, for some people, it works because when you give, there is a receiving in there. And the same thing with us. We are not wrong by pitching in and contributing. It's about what works for you. And his idea, he made, or at least he made me feel I was wrong. And I bought it and sold it, and we broke up because that was two different realities. But what if there is, and I made it very significant, of course. Again, did it make me happy? Probably, maybe not, maybe yes. What if it's not about what's right and wrong? What if it's about lightness? What makes you light? What makes you happy? What makes you joyful? And And what if we follow that? And then there comes judgment, big judgment. How would they take it if I choose me or them? And yet, there is a lot of misconception, a lot of judgment through which we look at the world. It's a colored glasses, colored by our experience. What happens is, okay, if I do A, then he will react to A, and then I will react to his reaction, and then he will react to my reaction, and then it escalates. And yet we have no idea if he or she reacts. We have no clue how they will react, because it's all part of that game of what works or what doesn't work. I remember with my ex-husband, there's a lot of examples of how not to do things based on my marriage. And I love using those examples because they illustrate a lot of families work like that. My husband used to be very passive aggressive. He wouldn't want to do something, but he would do it because he thought that I wanted it or desired it. And if he didn't do it, I would get upset. But he never asked me, what do I desire? Somewhere in, like by the end of our marriage, we started figuring that out, but by that time it was a little bit too much, too late. Too little, too late, I would say. But the idea is when he would after he said, oh, I went there because you wanted to. And I'm like, wait a second. First of all, I didn't want to go there anyway. I thought you wanted to go there. And he's like, no, I thought you wanted to go there. There was totally miscommunication. And we were upset at each other because we went somewhere where we didn't want to be. How much of that insanity stops our magic? I'll say it again. How much of that insanity of doing things that's not magical for us, not joyful for us, is stopping the magic? And it's time for our second break of the show. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. When we return, we'll talk more about magic and us and how can we tap more into the magic. And we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Magic and abundance are everywhere. What if you could tap into abundance and start creating your life with complete and total ease? Working with Dr. Helen Gitlevich will give you exactly that, total ease in creating abundance in your life. Dr. Gitlevich creates classes all over the world, both in person and online. She works with you to create abundance with your money, with your body, with your relationships, with all areas of your life with total ease. Connect with Dr. Helen Gitlevich at creatingabundancewithease.com. Her contribution in your world will be a noticeable gift in a very short period of time.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today, our show topic is Magic of the Holidays. And yeah, before I went on the break, we were talking about how cute we are, how we are afraid to be vulnerable or hear the truth or even ask questions. Because we are so into conclusions that we forget that the other person is not us. They have their own agendas. They have their own subconscious things that driving them, or conscious things or unconscious things, whatever they are. It doesn't matter. What if we start asking, what would you like? Do you actually desire that? No, we're like, we have a couple of comments and I love it. We're trying to surprise each other, read each other's mind. Can we actually do that? Actually, we can. And we cannot. We're psychics. We pick up other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and especially judgments. And a lot of times we cannot even separate where our judgments start and their judgment starts. It's about literally dropping our barriers and being vulnerable, like Christine says. It's about, because think about it for a second. And I talk a lot about the barriers in many shows. I can listen to the past shows. I've had, I think, over 100 now of podcasts available on Inspired Choices Network program or app on the phone or on Spotify, iTunes, iPodcasts. You can find it everywhere. But the point is, when we have walls made up or real, doesn't matter. We cannot hear what the other person saying, thinking, doing even. A lot of times, those walls of separation are really walls of separation. They are, okay, let's say, as I said, I like visual. We have boxes that we put ourselves in. And by boxes, I mean definitions. I'm a wife, I am a doctor. Right now, I'm not a wife, but let's say I am divorced. I'm a mother. I'm a business owner. I'm a facilitator. I'm a podcast host. I'm a published author. I am this. I am that. I'm a doctor. I am Akashic Records teacher, founder of school. I mean, there's so many definitions, so many boxes. And unless I drop them, each box has the walls. If I decided I'm a mother, I have to act a certain way. And even with my daughter, the relationship there, when she's an adult, what do? I still tell her what to do. She's an adult. She has her own choices. And yet, I'm as a mother, cannot even hear through the box a lot of times of what she's saying or what she's choosing because, oh, I'm a mother. I know what to do. I know what's best for you. Is that true? No, it's not. She actually knows what's best for her, just like I know what's best for me. What if we actually started concentrating on what makes us happy? What creates magic in our lives? Not trying to help fix or choose for somebody else. What if we started really paying attention? What makes us tick? What makes us work? What makes us happy? And we'll talk more about what makes us happy next week. Choosing for us usually makes us happy. Choosing against us makes us miserable. That's pretty much the recipe for disaster when we start choosing for somebody else. Can anybody make us do something we don't like? Probably not. The only one who makes us do things is us. Same with being hurt. Nobody can hurt us. We are the one choosing to be hurt. So let's talk about what's true for us. What's true for us makes us feel light. And for a lot of people, it's different. It's about creating a different reality. Like a lot of techniques, modalities tell you, follow the energy. How do you do that? Access has an amazing tool. Whatever is light will make you happy. Whatever is light is true and it usually makes you happy. Whatever is heavy and contracting, that's usually a lie. And lies very rarely create happiness, or at least everlasting happiness. Something in that people look at stuff and automatically they cannot look clearly because they have points of view about stuff. When we encounter what's light, that means we're actually seeing it, being it, and receiving it. And that's what's true for us. The easiest way to explain it, there is no way to explain it. It's just through exercise. And it's a muscle to build. One way to look at stuff is, let's say close your eyes if you're not in the car and driving. Close your eyes and think the moment when you were, or if you weren't, that's fine. But imagine you are in the nature with no people, either swimming in the ocean or at the sea where there are no people. I specifically stress no people because people lie. Nature does not. So maybe you're in the mountains by yourself. Maybe you are in the woods by yourself, but not when you're scared. I'm talking about like just enjoying the nature, being one-on-one with nature, maybe walking on the beach, by the ocean, just by yourself. nobody there to distract you from the truth of who you are. Yep, that feels light, doesn't it? Cool. Now, from whatever it is, remember the moment when somebody lied to you, somebody betrayed you. You sense that energy, how it's like contracts you and it's like heavy and it's like, ah. I'm going to use a clearing statement of access consciousness, which you don't have to remember. If you're curious, you can, and never heard it before, you can go on the accessconsciousness.com website or theclearingstatement.com and just read more about it. This is just a vibrational frequency that clears stuff. So would you destroy and uncreate everything that just came up with whatever, like we were talking about, that betrayal, that lies, right and wrong, good and bad, pack and pat, all nine shorts, poison, beyonds. Whew, wow. Huh. Now it's a little lighter. And that's an example of magic, by the way, because some tools on Access, just by virtue of clearing stuff, brings more magic. And when I talk about magic, it always feels light, because magic doesn't lie. Miracles do not lie. Miracles is what is authentic, what is actually true. It's a space of being us, with no lies of this reality, with no points of view, just being. That's what magic is. There are a lot of, like, I love movies about magic. And when I watch them, I always get lighter. Well, except the horror movies. And those are not about magic, but about something different, twisted, and I don't want to talk about it. But what if we just let go of all the lies that we have in our lives and just be ourselves, be our authentic selves, be our true self? And what if by virtue of that, during holidays or during not holiday season, every day, what if we be that energy and that would start shifting and changing our lives? Let's be, and that's what I want to say, let's be. How much are we refusing to be? I'm actually also a facilitator of Being You classes. It's based on the books of Being You, Changing the World that Dr. Dane Hare wrote. And there are classes around the world that I've been facilitating on being you, which actually creates magic and miracles. I'm doing one, I think, actually next week, an introductory class in Russian, though. So if you speak Russian, you're welcome to join us. If you look on my website, Creating Abundance with Ease, it might kick you to the Access Consciousness website. You will see a lot of classes that I facilitate or will be facilitating soon. And this is time for our third and final break of the show. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on the Inspired Choices Network. And when we return, we'll talk more about magic, miracles, and what's coming up next week and in the next few days, or whatever you'd like to talk. And if you'd like to ask questions, you can always do that in the chat room. And we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show is Magic of the Holidays. And if you're just joining us, we have 3 other parts, or in the previous parts of the show, we're talking about magic and miracles and how much our points of view creates our reality and limits us, and the tools of, especially during the holidays when we are push between the families, between friends, between what we desire versus what they desire, how we suppress and depress ourselves. Because a lot of people go through depression during the holidays instead of being joyful, instead of being happy, and be the miraculous and magical that we actually are. And in the last 10 minutes of our show, 10-15 minutes of our show, let's talk a little bit about if you are not happy, if you are not joyful during holidays. There's an amazing tool of who does it belong to? Because a lot of those emotions might not be even yours. Because as I said in the previous parts or previous shows, we are psychics. And despite our walls, despite our barriers, we still pick up other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Even they are distorted. Just like right now, I'm sitting in my house, in my room, doing a podcast. Outside, there are kids playing. I still hear them. There is still noise. It's distorted. I cannot hear the words they're saying. I just hear the noise. So how much are all of us picking up that noise from outside that's not even ours? And it's not even relevant to us. So there's a few ways of dealing with that noise that's not creating happiness, that's actually interferes with the happiness. Ask, who does this belong to? Again, who does this belong to? How much of our magic is cut off by that noise? Think about it. Let's say you're listening to amazing opera, if you like opera. If you don't like opera, maybe to the style of music that you like, maybe classical rock, maybe classical music, maybe rap. It doesn't matter what you're listening to. You're trying to pay attention to the words, and yet there is noise, mechanical noise in the room. How much can you enjoy the wonderful music that you actually like to listen to? Not much. How much can you hear if there is a loud noise that interferes with the music? Some cacophony that another person is either talking through the walls or screaming or singing. And it's a lot of other people who might be, one is talking, one is screaming, one is, and I'm not even talking about the actual voices. I'm talking about voices in your head, not hallucination, but psychically picking up other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So let's do a little exercise before our last few minutes, just scan your body, scan your mind. And if your mind, like mine, like right now, it's actually pretty quiet. But before I used the tools, it was a monkey mind constantly chatting and chattering, and I don't know, a lot of noise. And especially being ADD and a little bit autistic, I kind of like realized that now that's what was going on. So just ask, who does this belong to? And let it go. Send it back to the sender. Who does this belong to? Cool. Send it back. And who does this belong to? And send it back. Who does this belong to? Send it back. Whew. I feel much lighter. I don't know about you. There is a free app. Who does it belong to? On Apple Store, Android, Google Store. I think every phone can have it. And you can just play with that energy. Who does it belong to? That will be the tool of the week. Also, quick reminder that Inspired Choices Network has its own app. Apple Store, all the stores for the phones. You can pick it up for free, and you can listen live and join the chat room right on your phone without need to go through the website. Also, with all of the holidays right now coming, again, keep asking, who does this belong to? Next week, I'm coming back, same time, same place. Magic of the holidays. I'm sorry. Yeah, being ADD, I looked at the wrong one. Happiness during the holiday. And it's just realized that I just kicked a couple of my windows out. So next week is going to be how to be happy during holidays. And we'll be using tools, maybe of Access Consciousness, maybe of Akashic Records. And if you're curious about both techniques, you can reach me, you can contact me either through email, WhatsApp, chat. There is also a Russian Telegram chat where all the announcements coming, that all the classes that's coming in Russian. So you don't miss the shows that I do on Inspired Choices Network in Russian language. Right after this podcast, I will be doing Russian book club on Bright Reaches for You. We kind of like had to switch the dates because I'm flying. And you can contact me on pretty much most of the social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm on Telegram, Viper, also VK, though I'm not very active there because it's getting too much, and I'm on WhatsApp. And you can always get on my emailing list on my website, creatingabundancewithease.com. And you can do that by downloading a free meditation that allows you to expand. And I love that meditation. It's in English. Even if you don't speak English, it still works. And our show is coming to the end. I love you all. Again, reminder, ask, who does this belong to? Because that probably will clear a lot your monkey mind and start clearing those points of view that's not allowing you to be the magic and create magic in your lives. And also, just be yourself. Bye.
Thank you for
See you
choosing to
later.
listen to Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. Dr. Helen Gitlevich will return next Wednesday. at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have fun using the tools of the week in your life and start creating magic in your life and your body.